I'm guest host Carrie Lambert, Executive Director for the Indiana Tourism Association. The Indiana Office of Tourism Development has a new director. Misty Weisensteiner is no stranger to tourism in Indiana. She served recently in a similar role with the Orange County Economic Development Partnership, and now her sights are set on tourism across the entire state. Thank you so much for joining us today, Misty.
It's so great to see you again.
Yeah, great to see you too. So we have known each other for over 5 years now, but I know those watching may not be as familiar with you. So can you give us a little bit of your work background?
Well, I'm from Indiana, southern part of the state. I was with the Visit French Lick West Baden CVB for several years, and then I became really interested in the economic development world, and there's such a close tie together between the two of those. So then I took a role as the executive director for the Orange County Economic Development Partnership, and then this opportunity came available. So, it's great to be back in the tourism world and then bringing the economic development piece to it as well.
Yes, we often say in tourism that we are the welcome mat to the economic development world, and I think they marry each other.
They do.
So well. Well, we're excited to have you on board at State Tourism, and I know you've been on the job since middle of January, so you have definitely hit the ground running, and I know that you have been very, very busy. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the goals and plans you guys have for the next 6 months?
After the session gets done, we really want to get out and about throughout the state and do listening sessions throughout the region and find out what our partners are up to, maybe what's missing, what we can do to help them out. We want to bring elected officials, the CVBs, the hoteliers, everybody in the attraction world all together in the same room and have a discussion. And then from that, we will develop a strategic plan then that will roll out and follow through for the following years.
That's very exciting. So you mentioned that you're no stranger to the tourism world, having worked at Visit French Lick West Baden. And I know we offer so many experiences across the state. And when I'm out about talking, people sometimes don't quite understand the breadth and width of what we have here in Indiana. So I'm gonna not ask you the question people love to ask me, which is what is your favorite thing to do in Indiana, because that's just too difficult. But I'd like to give you a few categories, and if you wouldn't mind telling us what we offer here in Indiana in some of these categories. So when I mentioned family fun, what are some of the things that we have here in the state?
And that is funny. People don't realize how family friendly our state is, and there's stuff to do all across the state. Specifically here in Indianapolis, we have all kinds of things to do, all within walking distance, really close together. The Idle Jorg Museum, the Children's Museum, that's world famous, really. A lot of people come to that. The zoo, you can walk along the canal, rent a Segway, which I haven't done yet.
I have done. I would highly recommend it. It's very fun.
They have helmets, right?
Yes, they do. They definitely do.
But there's all kinds of things to do directly here in Indianapolis. Yeah.
It's great. So outdoor recreation, what are some of the things that we have in our state for that?
Oh my gosh, how many parks do we have? I think we have over 50 in total. And then we have the Indiana Dunes, who just recently became designated as a national park, which is great. And you can hike, bike, fish, all kinds of activities as our state parks. There's Brown County State Park where they have mountain biking, Patoka Lake where you can fish, Monroe Reservoir, all kinds of great activities.
Agritourism and culinary, I know that's a big push right now from the State Tourism Office. What are some of the examples that we have across the state for that?
Well, there's all kinds of, there's a surge for farm-to-table restaurants, locally owned culinary. Fair Oaks Farms is also huge into agritourism with all of the activities that they have going on, and the hands-on opportunities there is magnificent.
So I don't want to forget our arts and culture, because I think sometimes people think most closely with Indianapolis and what we have to offer, but I know we have that all over the state. Could you give us some examples of that?
Oh, there's lots of trails too that bring that in. Arts and culture you can find in the different parts throughout the state as well. It's a great opportunity. There's lots of museums as well.
Yeah. Well, we are very excited, I know, in the tourism industry to have you on board, Misty. Excited to continue to work with you, advance tourism across the state of Indiana. In one word, what excites you most about this position?
All of the great people that are involved in tourism and across the different sectors. It's really exciting to be back in it.
Well, thank you for being here today.